Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about the RedTiger F77 dash cam and how it works, setting it up, getting it installed, and giving my thoughts. So stick around, I'm going to roll that intro and we'll jump right into it. My name is Connor and this is Informal Tech. Okay, you made it through the intro. We're going to take a look at the website. But first I wanted to mention that RedTiger did sponsor this video. They sent me out the camera, I set it up, and I've been using it for a few days. And I just wanted to give you some feedback, let you know what I think about it, and let you make a decision for yourself on if this is something that you'd be into. Now, I will mention that even if you have something like Tesla Cam or Dash Cam in the Rivian, Gear Guard, something like that, Sentry mode, this is something that I still would recommend because I've had instances where I go to grab that footage off of one of those services and it's just not available, and I've seen it plenty of times on the internet, and so having that redundancy, having a backup is super important in this day and age. Now this one specifically does feature 4K video on both cameras, so it's supposed to provide you super good detail in those finer details, including license plates, and so that's something to definitely keep in mind moving forward. But let's jump into the website and we'll take a peek. So it talks about a couple things. I'm not going to read everything to you, but it's got a 170-degree wide angle on both cameras, so you get to see tons of space. I actually set mine up inside the vehicle because I do Lyft and Uber driving, but that 4K resolution actually enables me to still be able to see out of the back window. And so you'll see it when I get it to that point, but it's super important to me, and I think that's something that really matters. But it does talk about the GPS in here, and that's an important piece because when you're reviewing your video footage, it actually will show you in the footage how fast you were moving, what direction you were going, where you were, and that's pretty awesome. We'll get into that. It does also have a G sensor, and so it knows if you've been in an accident and it'll make sure that it's recording and catching everything. But inside the box, there is the hardwire kit included for free. Now, I would recommend using the hardwire kit if you're comfortable with doing that. It does have a way that you need to connect the constant 12 volt and the accessory 12 volt, but it provides you the ability to use other features like the time lapse. So if you're just using the USB-C car charger and your vehicle does not keep power going to the 12 volt when not in use, then the dash cam just turns off and you get nothing when the car is off. And so that's definitely something that I would recommend. The cam cables were super long, way too long for me because I used it inside, but I think if you were in a full-size vehicle, a sedan or something, it should be enough cable to get the cameras where they need to be. So I think that's enough for the website. I don't remember if I hit everything that I wanted to hit, but I think we'll go through the unboxing. We'll check out a demo. We'll look at some snippets, and we'll let you guys make your decision. Oh, what I did want to mention before I leave is that you can purchase it on their website or Amazon, and you can see over here that it is set up to $339 on their website for the cheapest one, but they're currently running a sale with that 30% off travel season sale, but you don't actually see it till you're in the cart. And so it's important to note that on the website, after free shipping and taxes, it's $232 out the door, and it does come with a RedTiger commemorative sticker, or you can get the Uber driver sticker, and that's a choice for you. But if you're on the Amazon site, it's $249.99, but you get some of those Amazon bonuses like Prime overnight shipping, and then obviously the easy returns through Amazon. So something to consider, and then we'll just jump into unboxing. Let's go do that. Okay, moving over to the unboxing. They have this plastic over the outside, which is a nice touch. Just make sure nothing gets in there. Feels nice when you open it up. And then the top of the box just kind of slides up. If I can get it. Okay. And then on the inside, you're greeted with your usual books and stuff. You know what we do with those. Plug and file them. And then these are used for the windshield. If you wanted to have an easy remove for your camera, put it on there, sell your vehicle, take it off. And then each camera is wrapped up inside. And you can see it comes with a like 3M type sticky on there. The screen is covered. And this one is the rear one, so it's a little bit smaller. You can see on the other one, it had the GPS and the screen, so it took up a lot more space, but they're both 4K. And then we'll pop open this bigger box and see what's in here. Looks like a bunch of the install tools. some extra 3M stickies, 3M style stickies. I don't know if they're actually 3M. And then some clips for running wires. And some really long USB cables, as well as a trim tool. That's going to be handy. And I think these USB cables should be long enough to reach wherever you need. Okay, now inside the little box, there's another USB cable that goes to a normal USB-A, so USB-C to USB-A, and then looks like this is a lighter port USB, and I probably won't use that. I want to use the hardwire kit to take advantage of some of those time-lapse features, but let's take that apart, pop it open. Now this does come free with the device, so that's good. At least as of recording this, it does. But we'll pop it open, and then, yeah, it looks like you got some fuses. We'll probably need that for kind of splicing into the fuse box. And then in here, this looks like it's the hardwire kit piece for actually getting power to the device. So this is where it converts that 12 volts to whatever the USB-C normally provides. And there's a little screen on here to kind of show us the voltage. But yeah, some more books and stuff, another 3M style tape, and plug and file. Moving over to the installation process, you're going to need some tools. Pretty much you just need the ones that they provided to you, and then if you're lazy like me, I would grab a drill with the T25 Torx bit, and from there you're going to grab this bolt that's over by the, I guess, closest to the driver's side in the footwell, and you'll come back over here, and then on the right side there's another one. So it's a total of 2 T25 bolts that you have to pop out, but once you have those 2 out, then you're able to kind of pull down and get the clips unlatched, and we'll see that in just a second. So you grab in the corner closest to where a person would be sitting on both sides, and those clips come undone, and then it sort of just comes downwards, right? But don't pull too hard because the footwell light is in there, and you'll want to disconnect that. Okay, so you can disconnect this by reaching in there and pulling it out. Okay, next you're going to need your needle nose pliers, and you're going to come under here, and we're going to want to grab this 15 and this 10. Now, like Alex mentioned in the AV Play install video, that's because one of these is switched and one of these is constant, and we're going to need both to get the dash cam set up. Using the hardwire kit, you can see I have a 15 amp fuse here, so I'm going to add this second one into here that I pulled out, and then I'll be plugging that back in to where that 15 came from. Now I need to do the same for the 10. Okay, once I have both in, gotta remember where I had them, so it was 25, 25, 10, right? And then 10, 10, 15. There we go. Okay, so now that I got that hooked in for the fuses, I need to go around and pop out some trim pieces to be able to run this. So what I can do is actually take this out. You can see I've been in here before when I routed this very poorly. So maybe I'll fix that up while I'm in here too. Okay, so I'm gonna wire the red to this one over here. Let me get my flashlight. So the red comes here and the yellow comes here, because when it's in the on position you should see ACC, and then when it's off you should see voltage. So that's good, and I use my ground as that screw over there, and we should be all good. Now we got to route the wires. So for routing my wires, I'm going to come up this way because we pulled off that other panel. So we're able to punch this through. Now, right here looks like it might be a good spot for this piece. Pull enough of this out, and then I'm going to hit it with the zippity doodah. Ouch. This. Okay. Got it. Okay. Tighten it down. Since I have this, might as well wrap up this one a little better. And we're going to follow that path. So we come up. And then we'll want to use a little tool to sort of lift that out. And I'm going to want to come up here. So if I can just... Ooh, am I a pro or what? Power to the camera. So I basically want a good clear view of the front, the entire front of the car. Now, center is probably the best bet. Centered kind of there. It does get in there. Okay, so I need to make sure I have the right amount first to get this to stick. And come in right there. Blow. That comes in like there. This comes in like here. To bring this one up through here. Okay, so got her installed. Basically ran the wires from the passenger footwell up here, around, and kind of like in through behind here. And so you can see I have that one popping out there and this one going in there. And then this wire is crazy long, so I could probably swap that out, but I decided not to, just in case it's like a special type of wire, like a DisplayPort type wire. I don't really know for sure. So for now, I have the whole thing stuffed up inside here, and there's just a ton of wire in here, but it's fine, it's hidden. I don't see any obvious wires sticking out anywhere, and I ended up putting the rear dash cam right here instead of in the rear because I do Lyft and Uber and stuff, and so I want to be able to see what's going on inside the vehicle. I've had an issue or two before that I think something like this would help prevent. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is whether or not it'll have good nighttime vision, because it does get really dark inside the truck. Whereas if it was mounted on the window looking outside, there's a lot of like other car light to kind of help lighten up. So we'll see. Okay, and then here I decided to take it through the car wash really quick. I have to do a voiceover because I was bumping the Clips album a little too hard, so I'm not trying to get copyrighted, but yeah, you can see the quality is pretty good here. Let me go ahead and zoom in on something. So I backed it up to here, and look how good this word vacuums looks when I zoom. I just looped that same clip a few times. You can see it when it's really zoomed and when it's really not zoomed. But from here, it's just a little bit of driving in the daytime, and you can see it honestly looks great. I kind of wish I could use this as like a webcam for actually making videos, but Yeah, so from here, I'm going to show you right there. You can see straight out the back. And as I pull in, you know, that was pretty good quality for how far in I was zoomed right there. And then as it's coming out, you can see I'm still bumping to the new Clips album, but once it's at its full angle, you can see through the side, you can see out the back. And I think this is honestly like the best spot to put it in a Rivian. Obviously, if you had it in the backpack, you'd be good. But I think with the gear guard coverage back there, that's something that I'm willing to say, like, okay, this is a good enough vantage to be able to see any shenanigans going on inside as well as out the back and the driver's side. So this is definitely the spot I'm going to keep it at. Next, we take a look at some nighttime footage, and you can see the outside cam still crystal clear, definitely super usable. The inside cam, however, now again, it's not meant to be on the inside, but I have it in here, and I think it's still enough to be able to tell if somebody's doing something, you know, they shouldn't be in the back seat or in the front seat. And the more lighting there is outside, the better it is. But you know, definitely I'm using it in a use case that it's not meant for, and I think it's still doing pretty well. You can definitely still see behind you very well and out to the side. And then this will just have some audio in it, so you can see how it records the audio through the microphones.
Turn right onto Palmer Park Boulevard.
Now this next section is actually a time lapse. This is part of the requirement for hardwiring that I wanted to talk about. So I'm showing both the rear cam, which is inside, and then the front cam, and you can see it's taking a bunch of pictures, and I think that's customizable how often you want it to take pictures, but I have it just set to do it like whatever the fastest between is, and honestly it looks like a video. I'm not actually speeding this up at all. This is just how it looks, but this is sort of the you're not at your vehicle, let's see what happens to your vehicle portion. And so you can see that person walked by, and this is definitely not the field of view that it has. I had to zoom in a little bit to be able to put these next to each other, but it just kind of gives you an idea of what exactly you're getting when you're using that time-lapse footage. And it's something that I'm really grateful for it to be in here. Okay, let's take a second to go through and look at how you actually pull the images and videos off of the device. Now, I brought it into my office just to be able to do this in a quiet area, but you turn on the Wi-Fi on the device, and then you connect to it like you would any other time. From there, you can go into dashcam file. It's going to let you know it's pausing the recording, and then you can pull down whatever video you feel like you want to check out. So I want to grab one where I'm actually driving because there's a little bit of information that it gives during that. So I can go ahead and hit download. While this is going, I would recommend, instead of doing a Wi-Fi transfer, if you have the longer download sizes or larger download sizes, you can actually just pull it out and connect it to your device. So I hooked it up to my computer. It prompted me to say, do you want to look at the SD card mass storage or the eMMC mass storage? And so you click whichever one you want to pull out. Now, if you had an SD card, you could just in theory pop it out and throw it in whatever device you want to grab that information from. But if you're in a rush, you had an accident or something, being able to access it from inside the vehicle without having to connect to anything is great. You do that over Wi-Fi. Once you have it all downloaded and you wanted to see something on this main screen here, you'll come to Album. And that's where you can actually see your downloaded files. So you're able to click into there, and there's plenty of metadata in there. So it actually shows the speed at which you're moving and the direction on the map, which is from there you can actually click this little button up here in the corner and share it out. So if you wanted to, let's say, upload it to Google Photos or send it to somebody, you can do that. All right, that's the RedTiger F77. Definitely something that I would recommend. I've never had a real dash cam before, aside from Gear Guard Sentry mode, and it's something that I'm glad I got a chance to test out. It's been on the radar, but I actually couldn't pull the trigger until getting to check it out and actually see it for myself. And so if you're on the fence like I was, highly recommend it. The video quality is amazing. The extra features are awesome. Definitely do the hardwire kit, but let me know what you think. Are you going to pick one up? Did you already? Is it something that you already have? Let me know. We're here. This is supposed to be a conversation. I want to hear from you guys. Definitely appreciate everybody watching. If you stuck around this long, hit that like button, click subscribe, check out the next video. We actually have this one coming up. This is going to be the Honsho Tesla NACS supercharger to CCS1 adapter. I'm going to go take it over to a supercharger and see if it's long enough to get me to not have to park like an idiot when I go to supercharge, but we'll see. Definitely look forward to that one, but thanks for watching again. My name is Connor. This was Informal Tech. Peace.